what are you doing? Xavi Simons, what are you doing? 60 mil for what? He's useless going forward. They were absolutely pathetic, Mark. I don't remember them creating anything of. They are shocking. I tell you what, mate, why don't you actually think about doing your job first instead of giving Thomas Franklin it, mate, because he's got pedigree.
Passes, he's always in the right position, he's always cleaning up, he's always destroying, he's always running, he's now providing and scoring. The most important thing for me is that not only does he play for Chelsea, he loves the club. He's kissing the frigging badge every single game, geezer.
What on earth was that on Reece James? How's that not red?
Disgusting. I don't know what the quality
VAR,
of refereeing.
yeah? Checked and cleared.
It was clear as day that was a red.
It was a leg break,
referee missed it.
It was an ankle break. Effing nasty challenge, mate. Chelsea back to winning ways, and of course it was against Spurs at 3 Point Lane. We're going to review the game like no one else can, and I mean no one else can, including our stat of the day. So make sure you stick around for that. You will not want to miss it. Marky Mark, that is now 10 wins in the last 13 games against Spurs. Only one loss in that time. You boys needed that, though, didn't you?
Yes, we definitely need it. I'm so happy. Chelsea absolutely turned it on. It's not 3 Point Lane, geezer. It's 6 Point Lane. We even predicted, like last week, we predicted after, how inconsistent Chelsea are, and we touched on the upcoming games. I was like, lost, draw. And there was only one game which we predicted that we were going to win, and that was against Tottenham. And that's for many different reasons. It was a very good game overall. 90% of the players were absolutely on it. Bro, it should not have been 1-0. Yeah, it should have been we're gonna
talk about that, bro, because as a spectacle, I'm not sure, but I'll let you carry on. Well, Mark, listen, bro, before we carry on, mate, why are you dressed as the Hamburglar? Do you want to tell our viewers why you've jumped on our podcast dressed like a 1920s prisoner? What's going on?
Why is it that the last couple of weeks, you look like you're actually recording a podcast in the jungle? Yeah, with your friggin' off-key Union Jack, still trying to prove a point to friggin' Gary Neville. Can you answer that first?
Listen, it's not just to Gary. It's anyone else that has a problem with the Union Jack. We live in England, my friend. So, yes, I am coming to you live from the jungle with my Union Jack. But you are still dressed as the Hamburglar, which is mental.
Yeah, but I can still take this off and be back to normal next week, innit?
Don't take it off. We're going to lose our viewers if you take that off. Right, okay, carry on. Carry on with your point.
It was just it was just a fantastic performance. We started in 9th position. Now we're down to 6. I think we're only 8 points behind the leaders, Arsenal. I mean, hopefully you guys lose the next one and we win it, and then we're only 5 points behind you. But it was a fantastic day overall. A little bit disappointing. There are still some issues with Chelsea that we're going to touch upon. But in terms of the urgency and the forward play, it's so on and off, but yesterday it was on, and I just loved watching the game. It wasn't the most entertaining. Chelsea had 6 big chances, only put 1 away. Being clinical is a big issue, geezer, because we're creating chances, clearly, but we're not putting them away. But everything just made me so happy. The defense is improving. They showed up. Wesley Fofana was incredible. He was aggressive. He suffocated Tottenham. Cucurella easily managed Mohamed Kudus. Gusto was really good. Everyone's saying, and I agree, is he the right player to play under Maresca? I don't think he's the best player under Maresca, but yesterday he was solid. He was absolutely solid. Going back to the defense, it's clear to me, and hopefully it's clear to Maresca, that Fofana and Chalobah have to be our first choice pairing. Because in regards to Maresca, if you have a look at the stats, No team has chopped and changed their defense more than Maresca. I get it, we've had injuries and this and that, players coming back, etc. But he needs to just be solid, stick to that. Stick to Wesley Fofana, stick to Chalobah. Tosin just really ain't good enough. Badiashile really ain't good enough. And yeah, it was just, I was super happy. But as I said last week, Isa, this is supposed to happen. The real test for Chelsea is when they play a team that has a low block. Do Chelsea have the tools to unlock it? That is still a big question that needs to be answered. But overall, of course, super happy. 6-point lane, standard, was supposed to happen.
Yeah, it was supposed to happen. We did say it will happen. And it's just an inevitable that Chelsea will beat Spurs, regardless of what form you're going into the game in. Now, two things. Firstly, guys, you know you love this type of content. You know you love the way me and Mark go back and forth. So do us a favour, hit like and subscribe. And secondly, Mark, you spoke about the poor finishing.
Yes.
Pedro should have had a hat-trick, in my book.
He
should have had a hat-trick.
4 goals.
He should have minimum hat-trick. But yeah, you're right. He had some big chances, and that is a problem. We're going to come back to that in a second because he definitely should have had at least 3 goals. I think it was poor, considering he got his first goal. Pedro, you're lacking someone up there, right? Delap, absolute dipstick, gets sent off midweek, so he can't even play in the game. Another red card for you guys. But speaking of red cards, Mark, it wasn't you boys that deserved a red card in this game, although some people are arguing Enzo may have done. Bentancur, what on earth was that on Reece James? How's that not red?
Disgusting.
How's that not red?
I don't know what the quality
VAR
of
checked
refereeing.
And cleared, yeah? Checked and cleared.
It's silly because, bro, it was clear as day that was a red. It was a leg breaker,
referee
mate. Missed
it. It was an ankle breaker. It's a
Absolutely.
leg breaker. It's a effing nasty challenge, mate.
Absolutely. It's worrying about the quality of refereeing, and then they brought in this VAR, which is supposed to double check everything in slow-mo over and over for 5-10 minutes, and they still got it wrong. He should have been off. It is what it is, though. I'm not even surprised anymore. Are you surprised about the quality of refereeing nowadays?
I'm not surprised, dude, but I am annoyed, and I keep getting annoyed when I see inconsistencies and ridiculous decision-making. You know, Jed Spence then goes over the ball. I don't even think he even got booked for that on Neto. He goes over the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, what are we doing here if we're not going to ref these games properly? I suppose the only one thing I will say, Mark, is that he was consistent in the sense that he didn't send off Enzo as well for his challenge later. He gave him a yellow. He didn't even think about it twice. That would have been a real inconsistency if he gave that one a red and then let off Jed, and more importantly, let off Bentancur, who, just put in an absolute nasty one. Just speaking on Jed Spence as well, Mark, one thing I want to cover off that not everyone's talking about, but you and I are going to talk about. Thomas Frank at the end of the game. I don't know if you've seen footage of it. Yeah, he's walking onto the pitch and he's walking towards 2 of his players, right? Mickey van der Ven and Jed Spence. Yeah. Now, he gets over to them, walks up to them, he's talking to them clearly, and not one of them, but both of them completely ignore him. And he stood there almost like stunned, looking back at them like, is everything okay at Spurs, or are we starting to see the wheels come off them already? Is there trouble brewing behind the scenes between manager and players?
100%. Because you know what? Yeah. Even if you disagree with the manager's tactics, with the manager's instructions, I personally believe it's completely disrespectful to do that to your manager. That's just my opinion. Of course, there's certain exceptions, but I don't think that they should have done that. I think he's going to go back there and actually, if he's a tough manager, if he's the manager for a Premier League team like Tottenham, you go back there and you actually spank the crap out of them, because that is embarrassing. It's disrespectful. And I personally don't think that should be happening. There is some problems. Look, Tottenham have been getting good results away from home. Yeah. It's just at home, there is a big problem. They can't pick up points, or they're losing points. And now you've got this as compounded by the fact that the manager's getting disrespected on live TV by his own players. That, for me, cannot happen. Those two players, Mickey van der Ven is a fantastic defender. Yeah. Rumours of him going to Real Madrid. Maybe rightly so. I reckon he could probably, really flourish with better players.
I don't think he's that good, you know.
I really like Mickey. I really like Mickey. I think he's great, and he's got some big assets. His speed, I really like him.
He's quick,
he's quick. But that doesn't mean that you have the right to disrespect the manager. And that's just my opinion. He just needs to work on his home form and make sure his players don't be doing that, especially on live TV. But I'm a fan of Thomas Frank. It's only the beginning of the season. They still have to get used to that, used to him. He needs to get used to the players that he has at his disposal. Let's have a look. I would never say they need to sack Thomas Frank. I mean, who are you going to get? Who are you going to get?
No, definitely not. I mean, they've won the lottery by replacing, Fat Ange with Thomas Frank.
I agree.
They've won the lottery with that. But obviously, Spurs being Spurs, they'll mess it up anyway. That's not the problem. But just on that, Mark, let's go and take our viewers to stat of the day. Because you said they've got a problem at home. You're absolutely right. Yeah, they've now gone, is it 3 or 4 home games without a win? I think they've lost 3 at home already this season. And they've just broken an unwanted record. The lowest XG ever recorded in a Premier League game. 0.05 expected goals. They weren't just toothless. They were Chelsea's bitches. And they were absolutely pathetic, Mark. I don't remember them creating anything of note. They are shocking. And Jed Spence walks around with attitude. I tell you what, mate, why don't you actually think about doing your job first instead of giving Thomas Frank lip, mate? Because he's got pedigree, yeah, unlike you, pal. So they need to fix up. But what a ridiculous stat, Mark. They've produced the lowest XG. They're at home in a wonderful stadium, let's be honest. And that's what they put out? It's unacceptable.
What do you think the problem is? Firstly, I want to ask you, what's your opinion about Jed Spence and Mickey walking off? I didn't ask what's your opinion on that. What do you think about that first?
I agree with you, Geese. They can't disrespect the manager like that in front of everyone on the pitch. You cannot, whatever's bugging you, whatever's bothering you, or whatever else, that's just something that now you just created an extra problem that people like me and you are going to talk about. And we're going to fan those flames. And you bet, being Chelsea and me being Arsenal, that we are going to fan those flames. So I'm 100% in agreement with you. Exactly. And I'm 100% in agreement with what you said. But they have also, to your second question, or before you asked that earlier question, what is their problem? Yeah. What are their struggles?
How do you fix it? How do you fix the home form?
They've got real problems creating when the onus is on them. So they're at home. They've got to be on the front foot. A lot of their goals, if you've noticed, and everyone calls Arsenal set piece FC, but they pretty much scored. Their top scorer is Mickey van der Ven, and he scored all of his goals from set pieces this season. And that is how they're getting their goals. And actually, they are actually lacking creativity, because where Arsenal are in the opposition box and creating, and there's goals and there's balls that get pushed out for corners, and then we punish teams. And when they're forced to come out, we will also score from open play. That's generally when we score from open play. Spurs are not doing that. all of their wins, their big wins, have come away from home. They beat Man City away from home. They went away to Everton and put 3 past them. But when the onus is on them, Mark, they are lacking creativity. They're lacking a spark. And if Kudus is kept quiet, where are their goals coming from? They're relying on a corner. And let's face it, no one does corners like Arsenal.
Well, firstly, Kudos. I love Kudos, but he got totally tamed by Mark Cucurella.
Yeah, he did.
He got totally tamed. And Reece James, he was on fire. I agree, bro. There is no creativity. Something needs to happen. It's down to the manager. That's why they pay him so much. 100,000 every week.
I tell you what, Mark. Their creativity is supposed to be coming from players they brought in like Xavi Simons. And just on that point, I think it's a good segue into this. Jamie O'Hara had an absolute meltdown on TalkSport. He watched it live with Rory Jennings. And perfect. And we're going to go to Caicedo in a bit. But before we go to Caicedo, for that goal, Jed Spence, what are you doing? Xavi Simons, what are you doing? 60 mil for what? He's useless going forward. And what was he doing for that goal? As great as Caicedo was, Xavi Simons was horrendous. I think O'Hara was absolutely right to have that meltdown and call out Xavi Simons for what he is. That looks like 60 mil wasted. And if you go through their 11, Mark, without Kudus, who is going to... Xavi Simons is not going to provide it. So who is going to provide a bit of creativity and who's going to put them away? Richarlison? Give it a rest.
Oh, no. I don't think he's good enough to be at Tottenham. Or maybe he is. I don't really know.
He's not good enough to be at a team for...
So yeah, Richarlison, I don't really think he can hack it. Who else have they got? Brennan Johnson. Last season, he was all right, bro. But
I don't mind Brennan Johnson. I don't mind him. He's been a bit injured, though, isn't he? He's been in and out of the team this season, right?
Yeah. But in terms of like creativity, I don't know who I don't know. They've got Kudos, but, you know, is he going to be effective every single game? No, because clearly he was tamed by Cucurella. Cucurella is one of the best left backs in the Premier League. I really don't know. I think they've made some poor signings.
Well, Xavi Simons,
he's a waste of money.
Paulina's not going to do too much. Moani up top. Yeah, they're missing James Maddison, aren't they? And he's out for is he out for the whole season?
I'm not too sure. Let us know in the comments down below. But exactly. James Maddison, especially last season, he was the one that kind of went to. He's the one who's going to sort stuff out. He's the one who's going to create set pieces, create opportunities, break the lines. But apart from that, they're in a little bit of trouble. I don't think
he's that great, to be honest with you. I know that everyone talks
about
Tottenham.
Maddison.
I think he flatters to deceive, mate. I think he's a bit overrated as a player.
For Tottenham, though, he's all right. They finished 17th, geezer. He has more influence than Richarlison.
They finished 17th, bro.
Bro, he has more influence than Richarlison. Richarlison's trash, bro. Forget that.
Different players. Richarlison is an absolute useless sod. So,
yeah. But anyways, going back to Xavi Simons, I'm so glad that Chelsea, dodged that because we were linked with him heavily. And I was like, we don't even need him. And thank God Chelsea took their time with the whole purchase, because he had to go then to Tottenham. And yeah, they got ripped off in it. I don't know. But I always say with brand new players that come into this type of league, may take some time to adapt. By the end of the season, me and you may be like, oh my God, we were wrong. He's actually great, but I doubt it. He plays for a shit team, isn't it?
So do I. Right, let's go from Xavi Simons, who was woeful for the goal, and Jed Spence, who was woeful for the goal, to someone who was incredible for the goal.
Again.
Moises Caicedo. He shuts it down in midfield, wins the ball back, not once, wins it back twice, and then nicks in ahead of the defender to lay it off for João Pedro to get the goal. You owe everything, all 3 points, to that man, Moises Caicedo. How good was he?
He was unbelievable. There's so much talk about Moises Caicedo, as well as including Declan Rice. Which one is better? For me, especially you talk about styles of play, I would rather have Caicedo. I mean, Chelsea are blessed over the years to have world-class destroyers, Makelele, Kante, and now Caicedo. 115 million sounds like a lot of money. He's worth more than that in today's age. You've got someone, who always makes the right passes, who's always in the right position, who's always cleaning up, he's always destroying, he's always running, he's now providing and scoring. And the most important thing for me is that not only does he play for Chelsea, he loves the club. He's kissing the frigging badge every single game, geezer. Only thing I'm so worried, I think he's so good. He's so good, geezer. Not only do I think he's the most important player, even over Cole Palmer, he's the most important player for Chelsea Football Club. And he's so good, I'm scared, geezer, that Real Madrid are sniffing around. Now, it's a good thing, that Chelsea tied him down to a bloody 20-year contract or whatever it is, yeah? There was a lot of talk about a week or two ago, a fortnight ago. Oh, you know what? Real Madrid and everyone else is sniffing around, and he got rid of his manager. And that was a big concern for a lot of people, but I don't think so. Maybe his manager's trying to get him a move away so his manager can get paid. Oh, you know what? Go down to Real Madrid. They actually want you. They'll pay you a lot more money. Not everyone is persuaded and swayed by money. Yeah, he's already getting paid loads of money. And he looks like the type of player that doesn't really care too much about money. Right? He loves Chelsea. Even Liverpool, when Chelsea were about to sign him, they tried to get in there sneaky. He's like, why would I go there? I've given my loyalty to Chelsea. I want to play for Chelsea. I want to be in London. Why would I go to a dead hole like Liverpool Football Club? He probably anticipated that they're going to be going down, and it looks like they are going down. I love Moises Caicedo. He is the best destroyer in world football, but my God, am I scared that Real Madrid, they could try and tap him up, because why not?
You should be. You should be scared, Mark, because it's Real Madrid. And
it's
our
Real
Chelsea
Madrid.
viewers, we've got. I actually want to shout out Paddy again. Paddy, I hope you're watching, mate. Well, you always do, mate. And we appreciate your comments and your insight. We want to know what you think, mate. And any other Chelsea fan out there watching this right now, Caicedo to Real Madrid is starting to pick up a bit of steam. There's a lot more noise around it. Could his head get turned? Because it didn't get turned by Liverpool, but Real Madrid are a different beast. Guys, let us know in the comments what you think about that. But Mark, Moises Caicedo, honestly, he'd look good in white, wouldn't he? He would be so good in that midfield, Mark. Can you imagine their midfield? Would it be Caicedo? It would be Caicedo, Tchouaméni, Bellingham. Oh, mate, honestly, it'll be such a good midfield.
Valverde. Yeah, I mean, it's not just he'll look good in any team, bro. I reckon someone like him can slot into any team.
Look good in any team, especially. And I want to know again what the viewers think here. You know, people talk about Zubimendi fitting in at Arsenal and being a bit of a conductor, but Moises is starting to deliver at the business end of the pitch. He's starting to win the ball back even higher. He's starting to get assists. He's starting to get goals consistently. Does that mean that he is literally in the conversation for most complete midfielder in the league, along with Declan Rice? He has to be, because he's delivering at every part of the pitch, including the business end of it. Mark, we have to move on because there's a lot of stuff we need to cover, but no qualms from me. I think we're both in agreement about Moises Caicedo. We spoke about your finishing in this game. We're reviewing Spurs versus Chelsea, don't forget. And yes, you're always going to beat them. And yes, you should have scored 3 or 4 goals. I'll tell you what, Pedro could have had 4, but you know someone else who should have had at least 1? Jamie Gittins.
Yeah.
He
Bro.
is shit. And when that ball gets played to him and he skies it into row Z, I look at him and I think, okay, I see a boy, void of confidence. Fine. But don't forget, we laid into Xavi Simons there and, he was 60 mil. Jamie Gittins, he might take a bit of time getting used to it and whatever else and getting used to the league. Every time I see him, Mark, I just think, what a crap signing from Chelsea. What crap signing. He just looks rubbish. It just don't. That finish summed him up for me so far from what I've seen from him. I know he's going to be a better player than what he showed there, but are you concerned about Jamie Gittins? That's 60 mil. Does it look like you've chucked it down the drain?
Yes. Well, especially when you're purchasing players in positions that we don't really need. When you could have spent
Exactly.
40 million of that on Mark Gahey, right? who every massive team in the world wants to purchase. Bayern, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Liverpool. Well, you could have got in. Why are you spending it on such a raw player like Jamie Gittins, who he's a squad player, but I think at this moment in time, he's only really suited and fitted for the smaller cups, no disrespect, Carabao Cup, the FA Cup. Look, the previous game, he scored pretty much a world in the Carabao Cup, right? But that miss against Tottenham was unacceptable, geezer. And when he missed it, because it was a sitter, I looked at João Pedro, and João Pedro, bro, looked at him and was like, what the fudge? How the hell did you sky that? But saying that, João Pedro, you can't say
João
nothing.
Pedro, who's missed 4
Exactly.
gilt-edged chances himself. But
He
even
can't say nothing.
Well, he can, because even he,
No,
he
he
scored your
can't,
goal.
bro.
Even
Bruv.
he was like,
No.
I would have done better than that, mate. That's what he
I
looked.
don't
He
think
looked at
so.
him like
I don't
he looked
think
at him
so,
like, I
because-
know I've been shit this game by my goal, but he looked at him like, even I would have done better than that. And
I don't know about that.
Pedro would have done better, but that
I don't know
that
about
was
that.
a
Because
that was
about
the
2
finish.
minutes later,
Mark, no.
he
Yeah,
was
but-
an open
yes,
goal
he
as
was
well,
very-
geezer.
yeah.
He should have
Yeah.
slotted that. And
It
I
was
thought
an
to
open
myself,
goal.
you don't have a right to look at him. You're both dead at finishing. You're both dead.
You know what, Mark? I stand corrected. You are right. Both of those finishes, Jamie Gittins and then the Pedro chance at the end, one-on-one, where he just telegraphs it, were the finishes of what I'd expect under 14 schoolgirl to deliver. It was so bad. It was so bad. Mark, we're going to wrap this podcast up on this. The league table. Because you got your win against Tottenham. You're coming back to Stamford Bridge this Saturday night before the international break. You've got Wolves at home. A banker 3 points in anyone's book.
Whoa. Okay, not my book. but
Maybe not
okay.
yours, but yeah, it should be on paper. Now, the league table, 2nd to 9th. Man City all the way down to Crystal Palace, separated by 3 points. Now, Sunderland play Monday night. They host Everton. So, again, this could change. But currently, as it stands, 2nd to 9th are separated by 3 points. Chelsea at home to Stamford Bridge to Wolves. Man City, who are 2nd, play Liverpool, who are 3rd. This coming weekend could be huge in terms of movement around the table, but it's so congested. 2nd to 9th, separated by 3 points. I think 2nd to 15th are separated by 5 points or 6 points. It's mental.
Super competitive right now in the Premier League. If you want me to talk about Liverpool City should actually steamroll over Liverpool. Yeah, they scored 2 goals and won the game against Aston Villa. Sun shines on a monkey's ass from time to time. I still think they're there for the taking. I still think Haaland will rip them up.
I think that too.
Talking about,
Can they nick a point, Mark? Can they? I
they
agree with you,
can.
by the way. I do agree with you. But
anything could happen. Yeah, but if you're betting money, you're going to put money on Man City, and you'll probably put money on Haaland to do it. This is not betting advice, geezer. It's just my opinion.
Yeah.
But I just don't have much faith in Liverpool. I mean, they can get a huge confidence boost if they do actually beat and dominate Manchester City. I just don't think it's going to happen. The main thing is, as happy as I am that we beat Tottenham, it's God given that we expected them to win. It should have been 3-4-0. But I did say in the previous pod we're supposed to beat that. But it's the games afterwards about the teams that set up a low block. I don't know, man. I'm not too sure about any of these other teams, Wolves and that.
This is the thing. You have to beat Wolves. And just like, Arsenal have to beat, we have to beat Sunderland as well, because Liverpool playing City, and this is your chance now to basically just get right in amongst it, right? That's the whole point. Yeah. You said at the start of this, if Arsenal lose and Chelsea win, that gap goes down to 5 points or whatever else. But right now, you're in and amongst it with Liverpool and City. Yes, you're separated by a few spots, but you're really not separated by many points. And they are going to drop points, or at least one of them is going to drop points. Someone has to. So Chelsea have to beat Wolves. And I think this is another opportunity to kind of just get a bit of pressure on Liverpool and City, because both Arsenal and Chelsea played before the Liverpool City game on Sunday. This could be an interesting weekend. It could be quite pivotal. Imagine City win it. Liverpool are then 10 points potentially adrift. Potentially. But I hope so as well, because obviously it means Arsenal would have won. But we've got a tough game as well against Sunderland. But this is a Chelsea podcast. Chelsea can really get in the mix here. Liverpool and City playing each other. You have to beat Wolves. Give me your score prediction.
Chelsea beat Wolves by the skin of their teeth in the Carabao Cup last week, when it ending 3-4. Now they're going to come down to the bridge. I think the last game as well, they lost to Fulham away at Fulham's home ground 3-0. So their confidence is not the best, especially considering we just beat them at home in the cup. These games where Chelsea are supposed to win, based on the results and the performances so far this season, you take all of that into account. I am not that confident, even though we beat and played well against Tottenham, even though we played a really good game against Wolves, but still had so many mistakes that, they clawed their way back into the game. They're going to set up a low block. I told you when teams do that. I don't have that much faith in Chelsea at this moment in time. Even though they will smother Tottenham, I don't care. I told you that was supposed to happen. My score prediction is going to be 1-1.
No, I come for a draw. I thought you said you're going to win by the skin of your teeth. You gone for a draw.
I said that on paper. Whoa. I said that on paper. We should do it. But paper don't mean nothing, geezer. I don't have much faith in Chelsea playing, teams like Wolves at home, where they set up a low block, geezer. I still don't have that. Right. I'm not going to be surprised yet if it's a loss or a draw. I'll be surprised if we win. I'll be shocked if we put in a dominant performance and actually cut through them. I don't think it's going to happen. I hope I'm wrong.
I've gone 2-0. 2-0 Chelsea. I think you'll win it comfortably. I think Wolves just don't have enough to hurt you. They'll maybe have a low block, but I think you can break them down. I really do. Wolves are not the team to come to Stamford Bridge in the league and come away with anything, in my opinion. 2-0, clean sheet. That's my prediction. Guys, let us know what you think. Maybe you think I'm barking mad. Maybe you think Mark's mental. We're probably right on both accounts. But let us know what you think is happening. And any comments on any of the topics we've covered today. Mark, bring it home, my guy.
Yeah, any topics that people say I say some controversial stuff, but I think it's all valid. I mean, it's just my opinion. If you disagree, let us know in the comments down below. Make sure you'll find subscribes and like this video, especially if you did like the video and you're here all the way to the end. And click right here for our next video you want to watch. And we'll see you lot in there. Thank you, guys.